an emergency? Are you prepared? Do you have what you need if something happens, if there's a power outage, if you lose power, if you are stuck on the side of the road, right? From Azpen, this is the 8-in-1 solar flashlight, and it is an AM, FM, and a weather radio. Now, it's much more than that, okay? There's so many different features. It's a flashlight, it's a tabletop lamp, it has a charger on it, okay, that you can do manually or use the power of the sun. It even has an SOS alarm and so much more. We're gonna dive into that. But this is what you need if you're thinking about emergency preparedness. We never know what will happen, from blizzards up north, hurricanes down south, fires on the west coast. More and more, we need to ensure that we are taking care of ourselves, and this is gonna be the way to do it, okay? Now, the price today, this is a new for you price. It is $22.99. I will tell you that just a few days ago, when we got this back in stock, there were a lot of different colors. We are down to 2 colors left because this is a huge customer pick. Please make sure you grab your $7 and change gets it home. 2 colors to choose from, either the blue or the orange. Justin Hyatt's in the house.
Hey!
How are you feeling?
Oh, well, how am I feeling? I'm feeling great.
Better? Okay,
yes,
good.
yes.
I know you're a little under the weather before.
Well, I was, but you know what? The weather is one of those things we can't control, and especially the internal weather when we're not feeling good.
Yes.
The external weather is the other part that I'm talking about, which is it's been a little bit crazy. We've seen what's been happening across the country, whether it's fires, whether it's winter storms or ice storms, even all the way down here. We need to be prepared. How are you getting prepared? I love this. We call it a flashlight, but it is so much more. This is basically an emergency kit that only weighs 12 ounces. You've got 2 different lights built into this. This isn't just your flashlight. You get your flashlight right here, but when I press that power button again, you also have a desk light. This is gonna be your down light. That means I can go completely hands-free. And you know what else this means? Even when it's not an emergency, I now have the best crafting light. I have the best desk light. I have the best light that will be right there by my bed when I need it, or even a reading light. So perfect, love that. You know, the other part is okay, well, what about batteries, Justin? You know, one of the things I love about this, even at 12 ounces, there are no batteries needed. This is completely rechargeable. So don't have to worry if you're gifting this for yourself or somebody and saying, by the way, you're gonna have to go and spend another $5 on batteries. No, this still weigh 12 ounces. And by the way, the other part is that it will also recharge your phone. This is also a power bank. So when you're looking at the overall value, you've got 2 flashlights. We haven't even gone to the fact that there's a radio built in. There's a power bank built in right here, so you can recharge your phones in emergencies or non-emergencies, just because you want to continue to have that form of communication. But speaking of communication, when everything else fails, and it has, and recently we've experienced it, you also have a radio. So what we had happen here is we had no power, we had no internet, and we had no cell service. The only way we had any form of communication during the hurricane was our AM and FM radio, but it doesn't stop there. We also have our Weatherband radio built into this as well. So Weatherband means that you can connect to the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. That's where their bands and their channels are. It's run by your local government. That's where they'll send your up-to-date notifications of what's happening with the weather around you, and you said it too. It also has SOS. I can keep going. There's
right,
8
you're
things.
Like, and more, and more.
And wait, there's more. And it also has SOS. So if you're thinking about having something that you want to travel with, this is great, because that means you will be seen and you will be heard in those types of emergency situations. And PA, we just saw a lot of people get stuck in a blizzard because well, the blizzard hit and their cars were stuck right there on the highway. Maybe you want to make sure that you can keep your phone charged, and you also want to make sure that somebody can hear and or see you. Maybe if there's icy roads that we see happen a lot too. Travel with this, and of course, with free shipping, get 1, get 2, get 3.
100%. I will say we have sold over how many, Kyle? 80,000. How many thousand? Oh, wow, almost 8,000 of these have been sold, okay?
Oh, we're well over 8,000.
Yeah, well, that's with this configuration. I know we had one before, right, that we...
No, even with this configuration, I don't know why we're showing 8, we were well over 10,000.
Oh, my gosh, okay.
Yes.
So we have a couple thousand left, and I say that because it sounds like a lot, but it's not, okay? We had different colors before. Once these are gone, they're gone. The colors are just what you're kind of seeing on there, but these are all going to do the same thing. And think about what Justin just told you, right? God forbid you're in an emergency situation, situation, you are in your car and then your battery dies, you don't have any power, your phone dies, what are you gonna do? You're out in the middle of nowhere, then you can use this to be able to charge your phone and get that, you know, call and get the signal. Maybe you were like us. I know, Justin, you have a story about when the hurricanes hit us recently, and you literally couldn't even, like, you had nothing except to be able to hear the weather radio through this. So it is really, really something that you need. This is, we talk about wants, right? Like, oh, something's cute, we want it. This is something you absolutely need. Keep one in your car, have one at home for you. Make sure that you are prepared. I mean, even if you're going hiking, right?
Yeah.
What if you lose cell service and something happens to you? How is someone gonna know where you are? SOS signal. I mean, this is incredible.
It is. And you know, when we keep saying there is more, there still is more, you know, that we haven't even talked about. You were talking about even campers. You know, when you're out on the grid and you've got your flashlight, and then let's say the battery inside here starts to die, how are we going to be able to recharge this? Whether it's going camping or an emergency situation where we've been at home and we still are out of power for an extended period of time, there is a solar panel built in right here. So you are using this while you're using your radio outside. You'll be able to recharge it via the solar cells right here from the sun. Or we have, again, I love this because so many times we have all these just all the newest tech. You know what? I love going back to the old tech that always works, like you said, which is the radio, the AM, the FM, when it comes down to just being able to know that we have something that is, you know, tried and true. And that's what this dynamo crank is. This is basically when we drive our car and we recharge our car battery, that's what this is. We're actually using this to go ahead and crank and recharge the internal battery. And now we're just recharged this. So we essentially have a flashlight that can run forever because, of course, we have that battery. That also means that we have a solar-powered power bank and a dynamo crank built into a power bank too, so we can be recharging this and then use that same type of technology to recharge our newest technology, which is typically what drains all of our batteries. It's just our phone.
Right. No, I mean, this is incredible, doesn't even cover it, right? This is something, again, that everybody needs. I think about my son when he was younger and he used to do Boy Scouts and he used to go camping, right? You're out in the wilderness. We don't know what's going on. This is something that he would have needed, right? We had power outages. Think about where you are. When was the last time? Power outages happen all the time. You don't want to be left in a situation where you said, I should have had that with me because it would have been a game changer to ensure my safety. That could be you on the side of the road. Make sure you grab this. It is $7 and change to get home to give you peace of mind. This price won't last, the free shipping won't last, and also the quantities won't last. Whenever we bring these in, they sell quickly because you should get multiple. If you have someone you love, you need to gift them this. Make sure, do you have teenagers? Put it in their car. You know, that would be, I mean, that's what scares me the most, Justin. I think about not just myself, but my kids, my daughters. What if they get stuck on the side of the road? There's no cell reception, or maybe their phone died, right? The car battery's dead. Now at least I know they can get their phone charged because of this, with the solar capabilities, if this isn't charged, whatever it is, and they can get help.
Yeah, and that's why I like to call it, it's an emergency kit. You know, it's not just an 8-in-1 flashlight. Absolutely, get one in your car. You never know what's gonna happen. You know, we all think about having, you know, we have so many different products we have for those types of situations. We've got, you know, we got power banks and we've got jump starters, and often we can go ahead and we can buy separately. We can buy these different radios. This is all of those different things. Now, you know, not a jump starter, but this is still going to be all of those things that you would want in that emergency kit, whether it's in home or out of home, whether it's in your RV or in your camper, or even on your boat. You know, I've been a boater my whole entire life. One of the things that you absolutely need is you need a good light, because you never know when the lights on the boats aren't going to work, and you know, never know when the electronics on your boat aren't going to work. So you want to be able to be seen. Best way to be seen is right here, a full SOS where you'll be audibly heard and you'll be visually seen, excuse me. So now you at least know that you have that as that emergency, and then as just your regular flashlight, I call it just a regular flashlight, there's nothing regular about this, is that you have that torch light right here, but then I love the fact that when I press the power button again, this is where that down light is. So now we've got this hands-free light where we can set our flashlight down and be able to use this as a reading light or however we want to use it. And that's really the tip, just like the whole story with this, which is however you want to use it. We talk about emergencies, but this is one of those things, whether you can have it as an emergency or you can absolutely be using this for the fun stuff, like using your AM and FM for all of your talk radio and music too.
Like if you're in the garage or you're tinkering and things like that. But this light here, Justin, I think is so important because if you are stuck on the side of the road, right? Yes, you use the SOS, maybe now you're charging your phone and you need to maybe change your tire. You're by yourself. How are you gonna hold the flash, are you gonna put it under your chin and try to, right? Now you can just set this down and work away and have light to be able to do that, right?
We've all done the try to, put it in the put it here and, we try and go hands-free. No, I love the fact that, yes, you can absolutely put it right there. You're right, whether it's changing the tires or whether it's flipping through pages or whether it's putting the little crystals together when you're doing your crafting and all the different stuff. I know we just had the big crafting day. I love it. It's a great flashlight. But like you said, whether you're a tinkerer and you're thinking, well, I know somebody who would love to have a radio. I mean, how many times have we just we've moved away from that stuff, and then when we get it, we're like, oh, I missed having a radio.
Right.
So listening to your AM and FM, and then, you had brought up my story, which was, when we had that hurricane hit, I had no internet, I had no power, and I had no cell service for over a week. You talk about being completely unplugged.
Off the grid.
Off the grid. I had no idea what was going on. Nothing. I had no idea. I had no idea about what happened with the Tropicana. I had no idea with all the different type of damage or what gas stations were getting any gas. That's actually how I found out that the gas station near me was going to be one of the first gas stations to get gas, because all the gas was gone. So all of the radio, all the different capabilities to be able to have built right in here. And again, when everything else fails, knowing that you still have the radio, especially with that Weatherband radio, I mean, you can't really put a price on it. I love the fact that everything is really easy and accessible, even with all the different, excuse me, I don't want to,
I was like, no, I'm kidding, because it's a strong flashlight.
I blinded myself. I didn't want to blind you along with it. I wanted to show all the different ports right here and all the different switches. This is where you plug your phone in. You can recharge it right here. This is how you recharge the flashlight. Again, no batteries needed. Batteries are already built in. This is where I can go ahead and turn it on and off. This is my volume control too. And then this is where I can switch it for my SOS, my AM, FM, and then my Weatherband radio. And then I love the fact that you got your little tuner right here built in too.
I mean, I keep saying incredible, but this is really going to give you peace of mind. I'll ask you again. What do you have at home now to be prepared? Can you say, oh, well, I have a flashlight. You probably have a flashlight that takes some really heavy, expensive batteries, right? What happens when those batteries die? What if you are stuck in a situation where you can't leave your home, right? And now you have a flashlight that's run out of batteries, your phone is dead, you don't know what's going on because you can't get any technology. This is what you need. You can listen to the radio, because when all else fails, you'll have the radio. You can charge your phone and be able to get help by utilizing this. This is all you need. It is in a whole emergency kit, just like Justin said. I just found out the price will expire today, meaning this goes back up to $40. Remember, this is a new for you price today at $22.99. The shipping and handling we're taking care of for you. For this price, it's under $8. Grab a couple of them. Do you have kids? Do you want to make sure they have it in their cars? When I say kids, I don't mean children, like any age, right? As an adult, like my kids can be 40 years old, they're still my babies. I want to make sure they're safe. So you make sure you have one in your car. You've got them at home. Anyone, this is something, if you love someone, they need this.
Well, when you were saying any age, because every kid loves a flashlight. That's why when I would go to my grandparents' house, and this is no joke, right there, there'd be the basket. They had, they were on like 5 acres of land, and we were like, all right, everybody grab your flashlight. We'll all go and we'll walk around. But one of the flashlights that they still have, no kidding, has the dynamo crank. And it still works.
Oh
it
my
still works.
gosh.
That's why when I think about this, when I say tried and true, this is not new technology. This is older technology, but it's technology that still works. And I love that. It's the type of technology you can fall back on. One of the reasons why I even knew to think about having the radio, because of what happened in Fort Myers when that hurricane hit, we had some guests saying, you know what, we had no cell service.
Right.
And I wasn't even considering that, because those cell towers got destroyed as well. And then, of course, even the power that was out. I love that, we can still go ahead and power this up, but I still do love the fact that, if that Weatherband radio, I can still hear what's going on. There's nothing more strange than being unplugged, but the silence was very eerie. It was a very eerie silence. So that night, as soon as we lost power, what did I do? I grabbed my flashlight. In fact, one of the ways that I used it was I actually set it down and I used the flashlight to actually aim up and reflect the light off the ceiling.
Oh, to give yourself more light.
Yes, which was one of those ways I was like, oh, that's a great way. That was a great way to end up using it. When you can go completely hands-free if you wanted to. The next thing I did was I used the flashlight and I walked outside. Why did I walk outside? Because I had about 15 feet of water outside. It was flooding extremely fast. I wanted to see what was going on. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. And then the next day, I used the same exact flashlight. I used this flashlight to go ahead and turn on the radio, and I was listening to what was happening. The other cool thing, remember, don't forget, is that you have that solar right here, those solar cells. So even when I was using this listening to the radio, it was recharging itself while I had it outside. So as I'm doing all the cleanup and all the debris, I'm listening to the radio, listening to what's happening, and it's still recharging itself. And then again, you still have that dynamo crank. And if I need it, I'm still out of power, don't forget, I can go ahead and I can recharge my phone from the power bank that's built into this as well.
I mean, it's so important. This is something, again, if you do not have an emergency kit, right? And maybe you do, but it's not as powerful as this. This is lightweight, it's small, it's something you can keep, but it's going to be a game changer for you. You don't want to be the person that said, I should have gotten this, because you're in a situation now where you need it and don't have it. Weather events will continue to happen. We keep seeing it happen. What I would say is that you will regret not picking this up, because it's going to give you peace of mind. This is going to be functional for a day-to-day for you, sure. But when it comes to that emergency preparedness, this is absolutely a need for you. This price will expire. You're paying $7 and change to get it home. It is free shipping. At the end of today, it goes back up to $40. That's if we have any quantity left, because people are smart at this price. I mean, Justin, you're getting 2 for the price of 1 pretty much at this rate.
Yeah, well, and you're getting the free shipping, which is, I think, so many people have already taken advantage of, because that's when you're like, all right, well, then I want to get one for the car and for the house. And and then you said, my son needs one, or I know somebody, or my sister's going to be a new driver. Doesn't matter where, just having an emergency kit, like you said. And then it's one of those things where you eliminate thinking, oh, I forgot the radio. Oh, I forgot the power bank. Oh, I forgot the other flashlight. You get to grab one thing and remember everything. And I think that's one of the things I love about it, is that it is an emergency kit. And you can see your AM and FM radio, which is not even showing the fact that it's also the Weatherband radio, the power bank. And remember, even while you're using the radio outside, you're recharging it. You know, you're using the power of the sun to recharge that battery. And Suming, this is one of the things I love about it. Look, we present a lot of different flashlights. They're not rechargeable.
Yeah.
Like, these are rechargeable. You don't have to say, okay, well, I got you a flashlight. You're just going to have to go ahead and get some batteries. No batteries included, or batteries are included, except that you don't have to worry about getting them. They're solar. It's completely rechargeable. Right, crank it. You can use the solar. You can use your radio. I was saying it's kind of like one of those bop-its. You can go ahead. You can flip it. You can crank it. You can go ahead and click it. You can pull it. It literally does everything.
No, this really does. Please give yourself the gift of peace of mind for yourself, for your loved ones. Under $8 gets it home on a flex pay. All right, Justin, it was good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, come with me, everyone, because we have